don't worry, there's no music. Following the feedback from the last video, I will not be having cheesy tunes on my updates anymore. Let's crack on with this update. I am ad-libbing throughout. There'll be no breaks, there'll be no editing. I'm doing this off the cuff with no real agenda other than to show you what's changed. So there'll be lots of ums, ahs, not sure, but we'll give it a go. And if it's rubbish, it's rubbish. But, you know, time is money, and I haven't got all day to be editing videos. So here we go. What's changed then? So this end of the layout, so the far end, which was just all sidings, bar the line here, which was used to stable locos. Okay, so the good news is that this is still used to stable locos, but what we have done is extended the amount of locos we can stable at Bocott. So that all looks the same, but if I pan around to this side, you can see I've added a depot now. So those far two lines, which were just sidings, now hold the depot. The depot has refueling facilities inside and can do light maintenance. Nothing super duper. Anything that involves heavy lifting will be done elsewhere. So we've got that. I've just built this fuel storage. Let me just move that out of the way. Fuel storage area from the bits and bobs in the bits and bobs box, funny enough. It's a good representation, I think. It would do. Bear in mind that they don't actually run on diesel on this layout. They run on electricity. So it's all fast anyway. But there it is. I used a little hut. I don't know if that's Bachman or Hornby, but it goes quite nice with those walls that I've built with the Slater's plasticard. So yeah, so that's okay, that's done. I just need to do a bit more tidying up around this depot. I'm waiting for a new bit of fencing and a gate to go in there. I'll look, peek down the side so you can see the new wall at the back as well, or the fencing. That goes all the way along the back of the layout now, down to the engineer's yard. They came from... Oh, where did they come from? I'll put it on the screen because they're quite. It's meant to be like harbour walling, but it looks quite good for a big concrete fence to stop the noise from the locos idling. I want to say Fairview Models. I think it's Fairview Models, but I'll put on the screen what it was. So yeah, so that's the update there with this. I quite like it, although I haven't had a chance to run trains for ages because I've been too busy ripping things up as usual. But I quite like the look of it. If you lived in those houses, you'd be quite pleased if you're a train enthusiast, although you'd be seeing the same locos all the time because my fleet of locos is pretty small. So yeah, pretty small unfortunately, but hopefully that will grow soon. I need a couple of EWS 37s and a 60 and some 56s and some more 37s. So yeah, I've got a lot to do. So that's the depot bit. And I'll move up to the next bit very shortly. Well, that was short, wasn't it? So we've moved up to this area. Again, this has changed because this siding wasn't here. So this is a scrap area. That's just work in progress. I'm just trialing out doing piles of scrap. So that's not the finished article. Do not worry. And this hard sanding is far too clean for a scrapyard. So we need to work on that. It goes down to there. So nothing's changed this side, apart from the earthquake that's ripped across the lines here. This is still, I think, just a track worker, rail track depot thing. I think that's going to be the case. They've got their access to the main road between the houses there. Just a bit of a back lane. I always remember when I was younger, we used to go to Eastleigh. Well, I still go to Eastleigh now because it's not far away. But where the depot is, we used to go down the back of the houses with the fencing. You used to try and see what 33s and 73s and 47s were hiding at the back. And you could also often get round on a Sunday. They used to let you in, which was really nice. But anyway, I digress. That's what reminded me of this anyway. Just a Sunday morning going around Eastleigh. Right, so what else has changed? So if you can remember, I don't expect you to because I'm just some little YouTuber. But I am on Instagram and I am on Twitter. So Bocott Model Railway on there. So I'll get most of my updates on there, to be honest. So if you're on there, you'll know all about this. But there used to be, where the Tesco's finishes, a road bridge, which was basically the scenic break, and then the rest was a fiddle yard. Well, I decided that I actually wanted to see the trains rather than hide them away. So I've got rid of the bridge and turned this into the yard itself. So let's have a little look along here, shall we? This again is still a work in progress. I've put this hard standing on the end, which means I can bring some anything in really to unload or load. Just covers every base. I've been trying to do a bit of greenery. I want it to look like a bit of a yard that no one cares about anymore, but I still need to do a bit more to that. The thing that's bugging me at the moment is this retaining wall here. Actually, it's just a base of wood at the moment, but I need to get some more brick plasticard to finish this off all the way along. So it goes quite. I'm not going to go any further than this because it's just a mess. Anything beyond there, because obviously now that I've done this as a yard, I now need to build or extend the layout to include a fiddle yard somewhere, which is what I am going to do soon. But I thought if I just start by the depot and work my way along doing the scenics as I go until I'm ready to extend it, then it just, one, it saves me a bit of money for the time being, and two, it gives me something to focus on rather than just having an even bigger mess throughout the garage that this layout's based in. So that's that. So again, a few sidings there. You've got the 4 sidings and then this dead end siding which goes through to the scrapyard. So you can see there, there'll be a separate gate for the scrapyard. I was originally supposed to be modelling some docks. I don't think I'm going to do that anymore. But I don't know. Because there's certain aspects of docks, especially in South Wales, that I wanted to incorporate in the layout. But I'll come on to that, I think, on another update. So we'll call it quits here. There's been a few changes, but it wouldn't be my layout if it wasn't changing, because that's all I seem to do. So, but I'm happy at the moment, which is a good thing, right? Until I'm not, and then I'll just change it again. I don't think I'm ever going to have a layout. So I'll do one more sweep along without trying to get any mess on the floor. Move along. And I will have trains running at some point. I'll do another running session, but because I've been doing so many changes, the track's all dirty. There's bits all over the place. So I'll have a clean up and then we'll run some trains on the next video. So thanks for looking. Sorry it's not very well organised. There are no points to cover. I've just literally started talking and I'm running out of things to talk about. So seems like an appropriate time to say thanks, and I'll see you on the next one. Cheers.